You get the promotion. Finally! Finally! After 3 years of grinding, 3 years of staying late when everyone else went home, 3 years of dealing with that one coworker who somehow takes credit for everything you do. 3 years of wondering if anyone even notices how hard you're working. And then it happens. Your salary jumps from $62,000 to $78,000 a year. That's an extra 16 grand, $16,000. You're doing the math in your head and your heart is actually racing because you're thinking, this is it. This is the moment everything changes. You're going to start investing more. You're going to pay off that credit card that's been haunting you. Maybe finally build up that emergency fund you've been promising yourself since 2019. You feel this wave of relief wash over you, like you can finally breathe, like the pressure that's been sitting on your chest for years is finally starting to lift. You did it. You actually did it. Fast forward 12 months. You check your bank account, and somehow, impossibly, you have less money saved than you did before the raise. Your credit card balance is actually higher. And you're sitting there staring at your phone, feeling this sinking sensation in your stomach. Where did it all go? How is this even possible? I'm making $16,000 more and I'm somehow broker than before? You feel embarrassed, confused, maybe even a little ashamed, because you're supposed to be smart. You're supposed to have this figured out by now. And yet here you are, right back where you started, or worse. Here's the thing. You just experienced one of the most devastating financial phenomena that nobody talks about. It's called lifestyle creep. And the scary part isn't that it happened to you. The scary part is that you never even saw it coming. Nobody does. My name's Nick, and I spend way too much time thinking about the invisible ways money disappears from people's lives. If you're someone who feels like no matter how much more you earn, you can never seem to get ahead, if you're tired of feeling like you're running on a treadmill that just keeps speeding up, hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Because today, I'm going to show you the exact moment lifestyle creep takes hold, why your brain is literally wired to fall into this trap, and most importantly, how to break free from it before it costs you hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. And yes, I'm going to show you that math, because the numbers are honestly terrifying. Now look, let's start by understanding what lifestyle creep actually is, because most people get this completely wrong. They think it's about buying a Lamborghini after you get a raise. They picture some reckless idiot blowing their bonus on bottle service and designer clothes. That's not lifestyle creep. That's just being irresponsible. Anyone can see that coming. Lifestyle creep is way more subtle than that, and that's exactly what makes it so dangerous. It's like a slow poison. You don't feel it working. You don't notice the damage until one day you wake up and realize you've been bleeding out financially for years. Lifestyle creep is the gradual, almost invisible increase in your spending that happens whenever your income goes up. It's not one big purchase. It's 1,000 tiny upgrades that each feel completely reasonable in the moment. It's going from the $12 bottle of wine to the $18 bottle because, hey, you can afford it now. What's $6? You work hard. It's upgrading from the base model subscription to the premium because it's only an extra $4 a month. That's literally the price of a coffee. It's eating out 3 times a week instead of twice. It's the slightly nicer apartment, the slightly newer car, the slightly better everything. And here's what most people don't realize. Here's what makes this so insidious. Each individual upgrade makes total logical sense. That's the trap. You're not being reckless, you're being reasonable. You worked hard, you earned more. Why shouldn't you live a little better? You deserve it, right? You've earned the right to enjoy your money. The problem is that a little better in 15 different categories adds up to your entire raise disappearing into thin air, like water slipping through your fingers. You never felt it leave, but it's gone. Let me show you exactly how this works with real numbers, because I need you to feel this. Let's say you're making $60,000 a year. After taxes, in most states, you're taking home around $46,000. That's about $3,800 a month hitting your bank account.
Now you get a $10,000 raise. You're up to $70,000. Your take-home goes to roughly $53,000, so about $4,400 a month. That's an extra $600 hitting your bank account every single month. $600. Do you understand what that could become? That could be life-changing money. That's over $7,000 a year you could be investing. If you invested that $600 a month starting at age 30 and earned an average of 8% returns, by age 60, you'd have over $800,000 just from one raise, just from keeping your lifestyle exactly the same. $800,000 sitting there, waiting for you if you just don't touch it. But here's what actually happens. That $600 evaporates through what I call the upgrade tax. You decide your apartment is a little cramped. The walls feel like they're closing in. You deserve more space after everything you've accomplished. You move somewhere nicer. There goes an extra $200 a month. You figure you deserve a better car now. You're a professional. You can't be driving that old thing anymore. There goes another $150 on a higher payment. You start ordering better food, going to nicer restaurants. Your taste has elevated. There's another $100. You subscribe to a couple more streaming services, upgrade your phone plan, buy slightly nicer clothes for your new position. You have to look the part. And just like that, your $600 is gone. Actually, sometimes it's worse than gone, because lifestyle creep has a nasty habit of overshooting your raise. Some people end up spending more than their increase because they mentally give themselves permission to upgrade everywhere all at once. A study from the Bureau of Labor Statistics found that consumer spending increases by approximately 92 cents for every dollar increase in income. 92 cents. That means the average person is only saving 8 cents of every new dollar they earn. 8 cents. Let that sink in. Let that settle into your bones, because that might be you. That might be exactly what you're doing right now without even realizing it.
This is where it gets interesting, and honestly, a little scary. Because lifestyle creep isn't really a money problem. It's a psychology problem. Your brain is literally designed to fall into this trap. It's not your fault, but unless you understand why this happens, you're never going to escape it. There's this concept in psychology called hedonic adaptation. It sounds complicated, but it's actually pretty simple once you get it. It's basically the idea that humans have a baseline level of happiness, like a thermostat, and no matter what happens to us, good or bad, we tend to return to that baseline over time. We adapt. We normalize. What once felt special becomes ordinary. Think about it. You get the nicer apartment. For the first month, you're thrilled. You walk around, touching the granite countertops like they're sacred. You admire the extra closet space. You take pictures and send them to your friends. You feel like you finally made it. By month 3, it's just your apartment. The excitement is gone. The thrill has faded. You barely notice the granite anymore. You're already eyeing that place with the rooftop pool. But the extra $200 a month, that never goes away. You adapted to the upgrade emotionally, but you're still paying for it forever. This is the cruel joke your brain plays on you. The happiness is temporary. The cost is permanent. And here's what's really messed up. Here's where it gets even more twisted. Once you adapt to a certain lifestyle, going backward doesn't just feel neutral. It feels like a loss, like something is being taken from you. There's another psychological principle called loss aversion. Studies show that the pain of losing something is, psychologically, about twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining something equivalent. Read that again. Losing hurts twice as much as gaining feels good. So downgrading your lifestyle doesn't just feel like returning to normal. It feels like failure. It feels like you're going backward. It feels like something is wrong with you. This is why lifestyle creep is so sticky. This is why people stay trapped for years, decades, their entire lives. Once you level up, going back down feels like defeat.
even if going back down is the rational financial choice, even if it's the choice that would set you free. Your brain rebels against it. Every fiber of your being resists it. And so you stay stuck, paying for a lifestyle you can barely afford, wondering why you never seem to get ahead. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Nick, I hear you. This all makes sense, but I don't want to live like a monk. I don't want to eat rice and beans for the rest of my life just so I can have money when I'm 70. What's the point of making more money if I can't enjoy it? And look, I get it. That's a completely valid concern. I'm not some frugality zealot who thinks happiness comes from deprivation. That's miserable. That's no way to live. But here's the thing. I'm not telling you to never upgrade your lifestyle. I'm telling you to be intentional about it. There's a massive difference between consciously choosing to spend more on things that genuinely improve your life versus unconsciously letting your spending expand to fill whatever income is available. One is a decision, the other is a trap. One puts you in control, the other puts your impulses in control, and those lead to very, very different places.
Let me give you a framework that actually works, something you can implement today, something that will change the entire trajectory of your financial life. It's called the 50% rule. Every time you get a raise, a bonus, any increase in income, you automatically allocate at least 50% of it to your future self before you even see it. Set up automatic transfers to your investment accounts, your savings, your debt payoff, whatever your priority is. Do it immediately, before you have a chance to mentally spend that money, before lifestyle creep can sink its hooks into you. Here's why this works so beautifully. You never actually experience having that money in your checking account. It goes straight to building your wealth. You can't miss what you never had. Your brain never adapts to having it, so you never feel the pain of losing it. Your lifestyle can still improve with the other 50%, so you don't feel deprived. You still get to enjoy your success. You still get to upgrade the things that matter to you. But your wealth is also building at the same pace as your income, which is exactly how you're supposed to get ahead. Let me paint you a picture. Two people, same age, same starting salary, $50,000. Same intelligence, same work ethic. Over the next 15 years, they both get promoted, both work hard, both end up making $120,000 by age 40. Same career trajectory, same total earnings over those 15 years, but a difference of nearly $400,000 in net worth just from how they handled their raises. And here's the kicker. Here's what should keep you up at night. This gap compounds. By 60, Alex might have $300,000 saved, finally getting serious about retirement, but decades behind. Jordan, though? Jordan could have well over $2 million. Same job, same salary history, different relationship with lifestyle creep. That's literally a multi-million-dollar difference from one mental shift, from one decision made at 25 and stuck with for decades. This isn't theoretical. This isn't some hypothetical scenario. This is the math. This is what's at stake every single time you get a raise and decide what to do with it. Now let me tell you about the exact moment lifestyle creep takes hold, because there's a very specific psychological trigger you need to watch for, a warning sign, a red flag your brain waves right before it betrays you. It's the moment you start thinking in terms of, I can afford this, instead of, is this worth it? Those are two completely different questions, and which one you ask determines which path you walk. I can afford this is a low bar. It just means the purchase won't bounce your checking account. It doesn't mean the purchase is a good idea. It doesn't mean it aligns with your goals. It doesn't mean it's worth what you're giving up to have it. Every dollar you spend is a dollar you're not investing. Every subscription you add is future wealth you're sacrificing. When you shift from, is this worth it, to, I can afford this, you've opened the floodgates. That's the exact moment lifestyle creep takes hold. Watch for it, because it will come. And when it does, you need to be ready. Here's what most people don't realize about lifestyle creep. The most expensive part isn't the money you spend, it's the money you never invest. $100 a month seems like nothing, right? It's just a few subscriptions, maybe eating out a couple extra times. What's the big deal? But let's do the math on what that $100 actually costs you over time. $100 a month invested at 8% average returns over 30 years becomes roughly $150,000. That's not me being dramatic. That's just compound interest doing what it does. That's just math. So every single time you add a small recurring expense, you're not just spending $100 a month, you're spending $150,000 in future wealth. That gym membership upgrade that's only $50 more per month, that's $75,000. The nicer apartment that's just $300 more per month, that's $450,000 of wealth you're giving up. I'm not saying never spend money. I'm not saying live in a box and eat bread. I'm saying understand the true cost. Make your decisions with your eyes wide open. When you're deciding whether to upgrade something, ask yourself, is this worth $450,000 to me? Sometimes the answer is yes, a nicer place to live, more space for your family. That might genuinely be worth it. That might be a conscious choice that aligns with your values. But you should make that choice knowing what you're trading away, not blindly, not unconsciously, but with full awareness of what's at stake. Practical strategies to defeat lifestyle creep. Let me give you some practical strategies to defeat lifestyle creep, because awareness alone isn't enough. You need systems. You need structures that work even when your willpower fails. First, implement what I call the waiting period protocol. When you get a raise or a bonus, do absolutely nothing with it for at least 30 days. Don't change your lifestyle. Don't upgrade anything. Just let the money hit your account and sit there. This does two things. It breaks the psychological connection between more income and more stuff, that automatic link in your brain that says more money equals more stuff. You're training yourself to decouple those two things. And it gives you time to actually think about what, if anything, you want to upgrade intentionally, not reactively, not emotionally, but deliberately. Second, do a yearly lifestyle audit. Once a year, go through every single recurring expense in your life, subscriptions, memberships, services, everything that automatically charges your card. For each one, ask yourself, if I didn't already have this, would I sign up for it today at this price? You'd be amazed how many things you're paying for out of pure inertia, things you don't really use, things you don't really value, things that crept in during the good times and never left. Cancel them, free yourself, watch your savings rate jump. Third, use separate accounts. This is simple but powerful. Have your raise amount automatically transferred to a separate investment or savings account before it even hits your main checking account. You can't see what you don't see. Your checking account balance stays roughly the same as before the raise, so your spending stays roughly the same too. Your lifestyle stays stable, but your wealth is quietly building in the background. Fourth, find your enough number. This is crucial. This is the piece most people miss entirely. Most people never actually define what lifestyle would make them happy. They just vaguely assume that more is always better, that the next raise will finally be enough, that the next upgrade will finally satisfy them. But research consistently shows that beyond a certain income level, usually somewhere around 75 times to 100,000, depending on your location, additional money has diminishing returns on actual happiness. So figure out your number. What lifestyle do you actually want? What would genuinely make you fulfilled? Not what society says you should want, not what Instagram makes you think you need, what would actually make you happy. Then build toward that specifically, rather than just endlessly accumulating more stuff that doesn't move the needle.
Now, I want to address something important, because I know some of you are thinking it. What about enjoying the present? What about not being so obsessed with the future that you forget to live now? Here's my answer, and I want you to really hear this. The goal isn't to sacrifice today for tomorrow. The goal is to find the balance point where you're genuinely happy now and building toward future security. Those aren't mutually exclusive. In fact, I'd argue that knowing you have a growing investment portfolio, knowing you're not dependent on your next paycheck, knowing you have options, that actually makes you happier today, not less happy. The people who are truly stressed about money aren't the ones who are investing aggressively. They're the ones who are one missed paycheck away from disaster because they let their lifestyle expand to consume every dollar they earn. They have nice things, but no peace. They have stuff, but no security. Financial security feels good. Options feel good. Having the ability to walk away from a job you hate, to take a risk on something you love, to handle an emergency without going into debt, that's not some distant future benefit. That's peace of mind right now, today. The identity trap. Here's the truth that nobody wants to hear. The lifestyle creep trap isn't really about money, it's about identity. When your income goes up, there's this subtle pressure to become the person who matches that income, to dress like someone who makes that much, to live like someone who makes that much, to hang out in places where people who make that much hang out. And that pressure, whether it comes from society, from social media, from your own ego, that's what really drives lifestyle creep. The need to look the part, the need to prove you belong, the need to show the world you've made it. But here's what I've learned. The wealthiest people I know often don't look wealthy. They drive normal cars. They live in reasonable houses. They don't feel the need to prove their income to anyone. They've separated their identity from their consumption, and that's incredibly freeing. They're playing a different game, not the game of looking rich, but the game of actually being rich. And those are two very, very different things. Your next move. So here's what I want you to do. The next time your income goes up, whether it's a raise, a new job, a bonus, a side hustle that takes off, I want you to pause. Before you upgrade anything, I want you to feel the pull. Notice the thoughts that come up, the urge to celebrate by spending, the feeling that you deserve to live a little better now, the whisper that says you've earned this. That's lifestyle creep trying to get its hooks in you. That's the trap opening its jaws. That's the exact moment you start losing. And in that moment, you have a choice. You can let it happen unconsciously, like most people do, like you've probably done before, like society expects you to. Or you can make a deliberate decision about exactly how you want to allocate your new wealth. You can be the one in control. You can write your own story. Because here's the thing, you are going to earn a lot of money over your lifetime. The median worker earns somewhere around $2 million over a full career. $2 million flowing through your hands. $2 million of potential. The question is whether you're going to capture any of it, turn it into lasting wealth, build something that matters, create options for yourself and the people you love, or whether it's just going to flow through you, absorbed by an ever-expanding lifestyle, consumed by upgrades you don't remember buying, leaving you at 60 years old wondering where it all went. The lifestyle creep trap is real. It's powerful. Your brain is wired to fall into it. But now you know exactly how it works, exactly when it happens, and exactly how to beat it. The rest is up to you.